The restaurant was alive with elegance that night. Crystal glasses chiming, laughter floating across the velvet-draped hall, and billion-dollar deals whispered over gourmet plates. Among the wealthy elite sat a man who believed he owned the world, a powerful CEO whose empire was built on arrogance and money. But when a young black waitress approached his table, his words cut through the air like glass shattering. In just a few cruel seconds, he didn't just insult her, he triggered the collapse of everything he had built. By the end of the night, the empire he once boasted about would lie in ruins, crumbling before everyone's eyes. She was only 24, a hardworking waitress with dreams far bigger than the restaurant she worked in. Every night, she served champagne to the wealthy who barely looked her way, her smile hiding the exhaustion of double shifts and aching feet. Her deep brown skin glowed under the dim lights, her hair was tied neatly back, and her crisp uniform was a shield of professionalism. To the guests, she was invisible, just another server blending into the background of their glamorous lives. But to her, this was more than a job. Every paycheck supported her family, helped her younger siblings stay in school, and proved that, no matter how steep the odds, she would carry her dignity with pride. That night, the restaurant hosted a private gala for one of the country's largest corporations. The air reeked of wealth and entitlement, and the CEO at the center of it all thrived on it. He was a tall, middle-aged white man, the kind who entered a room like he owned it. His tailored suit cost more than most people's yearly rent, his smile was practiced, and his power was unquestioned. To him, respect was a currency he never wasted on those he considered beneath him. As the young waitress approached his table, balancing a tray of drinks with steady hands, she had no idea she was about to become the center of a scene that would shake the entire room, and his empire with it. She set the glasses down carefully, her voice calm and professional as she asked if the guests needed anything else. But instead of a polite nod or a simple thank you, the CEO leaned back in, his chair a smirk tugging at his lips. His words, sharp and dismissive, spilled out loud enough for the surrounding tables to hear. "Do you ever get tired of being so stupid?" The room froze. The laughter, the clinking glasses, the soft music, everything fell silent. The young woman's hands trembled, her heart pounding against her ribs. She had endured rude comments before and endured being overlooked, but this was different. This wasn't just arrogance, it was cruelty. Guests shifted uncomfortably. Some lowered, their eyes pretending not to hear, but the CEO wasn't finished. He laughed, waving her off as if she were nothing more than an inconvenience, disposable in his kingdom of wealth. What he didn't realize was that his words had reached the wrong ears. At a nearby table sat one of the most influential investors in the room, a man whose billions had quietly propped up the CEO's empire for years. Unlike the CEO, this man noticed the waitress's trembling hands and the way her dignity was being stripped away in front of everyone. The investor's expression hardened. He saw not strength in the CEO but weakness, arrogance, cruelty, and a lack of basic humanity. In that moment, he made a decision. The CEO carried on as if nothing had happened, ordering bottles of wine, laughing at his own jokes, and boasting about his next billion-dollar project. But across the room, the investor was already setting events into motion. A quiet phone call, a nod to his associates, and the beginning of an empire's collapse. Minutes later, as the CEO raised his glass to toast his unstoppable success, his phone buzzed. He ignored it. Then it buzzed again, and again. Finally, with an annoyed sigh, he glanced at the screen. His smile faded. His hand shook slightly. One by one, the notifications came in. Withdrawn funding, terminated contracts, frozen accounts. His empire, the one he had spent years building, was unraveling in real time. Whispers spread across the room. Business partners excused themselves. Investors stepped away. The same crowd that had once applauded his power now avoided his gaze. And across the hall, the young waitress continued her work quietly, her dignity intact, her head held high. The end of the night, the powerful CEO who had entered the restaurant as if he owned the world walked out with nothing but shame clinging to him. His empire hadn't collapsed because of market crashes or scandals, but because of the simplest truth: cruelty has consequences. The young waitress never asked for revenge. She never raised her voice, never retaliated. All she did was stand tall, in the face of humiliation, a silent reminder that respect is not a luxury. It is a basic human right. And the investor who had witnessed it all made sure the world knew. No amount of money, no skyscraper, no billion-dollar deal could excuse the kind of arrogance that belittles another human being. The CEO thought he was untouchable. But in a single night, with a single insult, he lost everything. So the question remains: in a world where wealth and power often silence compassion, what will it take for us to truly value dignity over pride?